Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for the Schinnerer School of Risk Management, What Large Firms Should Know webinar. My name is Yvonne Castillo, and I am the Director of Risk Management at Schinnerer. Joining me today is Kelly Cook with Red Vector, our technology partner. Together, we're going to provide you with a high-level overview of the newly launched School of Risk Management. We won't be providing any PowerPoint slides today. We'll just be sharing our screens to walk you through the new website for risk management and the new on-demand 24/7 CE platform. So we purposefully scheduled today's webinar to be short out of respect for your time. We're going to try to stick to that time frame. We may go over just slightly, but we will be moving really quickly. But please keep in mind that we are recording this webinar, so you'll have the ability to come back to our website and watch it again if you need to. So what you're seeing right now on the screen is Schinnerer.com. To get to the risk management page, you click on Risk Management, go to Design and Construction, and here's the new look. So it's a clean, less cluttered, and hopefully easier to navigate website. This is what the public sees, but to actually read and read any of the resources that are within here or watch any videos, you'll have to actually log in, and I'm going to walk you through that process. So you see at the top it says login. If you don't have an account, I can walk you through that really quickly. It's really simple. Okay, there we go. All right, so it's going to take you to this screen. If you have your login account, you just log in. But if you don't, just create an account right here. And you're just going to click policyholder. Super simple page. This is it. All you have to do is put in your name. You don't have to put in your policy number if you don't know it. If you do, that's great, but you don't need it. Email, and then your firm name and basic contact information, and then just hit submit. And when you hit submit, you'll immediately get a confirmation email acknowledging that we've received your request to create an account. And within 24 hours, perhaps 2 hours, you'll get a confirmation email saying, all right, your account's been set up. Click this link and to finalize the process, and done. You now have access to all of the risk management content. So I'm going to go ahead and log in for myself. Go back to risk management. Okay, so what you're seeing in front of you are 4 tiles. This is the Schinnerer School of Risk Management. This tile here is the 24/7 online learning platform that we'll touch on in a moment. But first, let me kind of introduce you to what else you have here, because there's a wealth of information related to risk management that your firm could take advantage of. So first, let me just unpack how we organize this. So you can see we have one tile that's entitled Managing Your Project, and then we have Running Your Firm. So let's just focus on these two. So the way we've broken up risk management content is in these 2 big buckets. So project-specific risks and then operational risks, okay, in the Running Your Firm. So let's open this and see how this is structured, so you can kind of get a sense of what we can offer you. So as you can see at the top, we have the content broken up into 5 tabs, starting with project opportunity at the left and moving on to project delivery, project contracts, design delivery, and contract administration. So the way we structured this was really meant to track the life of a project, starting with when you are considering taking on a project and assessing the risks associated with that project type, for example. So here's where you'd find claim studies by project type, by discipline, service type, etc. But you can browse at your leisure. So for example, let me just click on one. Let's say you're a firm that you want to explore doing a parking garage. You've never done a parking garage. You'd click on this study, and this is going to provide you with some scenarios of where risks arise in this particular case study or this particular project type. Okay? And then at the very end, there's some nice tips on how to manage risks associated with parking garage claims. Okay? So going back, up to our, so the next phase in a project, you might be considering, okay, you're going to embark in this new project type. Now, what is the project delivery method that's being utilized for this project? And so let's say you've never done design build. What are the risks associated with that? What are the risks associated with P3, et cetera? Okay. And now you're negotiating the contract with the client. And here's our content, very robust risk management content associated with contracts, of course. So you can kind of browse at your leisure, but you can see we sort of focused on some of the frequently asked issues. And then up here, this is a very handy section, I think, for most of our clients, because this is where we have some really useful model provisions guides. So let's say you're negotiating a contract and you see some provisions in the contract that you think are red flags. You might go to these resources to kind of figure out, well, what would Schinnerer recommend as better language to use? So you could use these resources to kind of help you navigate that process. And then moving on to design phase risk management, and then at the construction phase risk management issues. Okay, so that's managing your project. Now, operational risks, we've broken it up similarly. We've got tabs at the top, starting with insurance considerations, disputes and claims, and we'll move on. But let me show you what's within this tab. So insurance considerations, here's where you might be able to assess how much coverage you might, what you should have as compared to your peers of the same size and revenues. You've got professional liability content, risk mitigation premium credit content, cyber liability, CGL, property coverage content, and then some information on how to manage disputes and claims. Industry and practice, here's where we have a lot of our practice management content. So frequently flagged issues like e-signatures laws, the risks associated with fast tracking a project documentation, restarting a project that you've already started, a project you're getting on has already been designed through schematics, and now you're getting on a project. Anyway, some frequently asked questions or issues here, public policy, and then other discipline-specific resources. Operating your business, this is where you'd find risk content related to technology, marketing, forms of practice and financials, staffing and employee concerns, international practice issues. And then lastly, we have employment practices, risk management content. Okay, so I know that was quick, but you can come back and look at that at your leisure. Just really briefly, take a minute to show you what's in news and events. Here's where we host, of course, the latest news. So we just announced the 2018 webinar registration schedule. So you could click on this link, and your firm can go ahead and register for the entire year for all of our webinars. All you got to do is, so every month there's going to be a webinar. You just click register and done. You're set. And then if you want to access archived webinars, you can click for those here too as well. Schinnerer events. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I should have covered. And then this is also where we have our social media channels. So if you click on here, that'll take you to our blog. So we encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. Just click subscribe. Now you'll get in your inbox every time we write an article on a recent trend. You'll get it straight to your mailbox. You don't have to check back to our website, so it's really simple. And then our other social media channels here, so you can stay connected with us, and we can stay connected with you. And then all of our newsletters. So recent newsletter, and then all of our archived newsletters are located here. Schinnerer Events tab, this is where we host all of our content related to the annual meeting of invited attorneys. This year will be our 57th annual meeting. You can see here we have a host of white papers by the construction lawyers and design construction lawyers who presented at the conference. So you can access some of the white papers here, and we'll be uploading and populating this section with our 57th annual meeting presenters' white papers. Upcoming industry meetings, this is where we host our content for all the events that we are either planning to speak at, or perhaps we're attending contract documents meetings with AIA or other meetings. You can see that here. All right, lastly, let me just touch on these two buttons. This is just a shortcut to that webinar registration section I showed you. And then this one I think you ought to look at, because you'll probably want to go to this especially. This is the frequently asked questions related to the Schinnerer School of Risk Management. So we've gotten a lot of questions already since we launched in November, and this will, I think, be tremendously helpful for many of you. Okay, so let's move on to continue your education. This is the online 24/7 CE platform. Once you've logged in, so I'm already logged in, right? I'm going to click on Learn More, and it'll take me to the landing page for the e-learning platform, okay? And I'm going to turn it over now to Kelly with Red Vector to kind of walk you through this platform. Kelly, go ahead and take it from here. I'm going to switch this, make you the presenter.
All right, hi everybody. This is Kelly Cook with Red Vector. I'm just switching it so that you can see my screen. And what you'll be seeing is the My Courses screen that Yvonne just showed you. So once you click from the Schinnerer.com over the continuing education tile, it will automatically bring you here. What I'll do is go through what exactly this provides to you and a little bit of a high-level training on how to use it. So the first place that you and any of your employees will drop is to the My Courses screen. It will always first have a Welcome to the School of Risk Management course. This is a short course that will give you the quick way of how to use the system, how to search for courses. And then this is also where any courses will go that you or your employees click on search courses and enroll in. The really nice feature that's available for you is that you can also assign courses or curricula to your employees, and that would actually show underneath. There'd be another box that says assigned courses so that they know that you assign that to them. And as you can see, it's pretty intuitive. All you have to do is click on Start Course. When you click Start Course, the course itself will automatically launch, and that way you can go through the course, and if there's a quiz available, you can take the quiz or the exam and complete the course. Now, before I move over to search courses on how to search for courses and what's available to you, is there anything you'd like to add, Yvonne?
No, I think you got it. Thank you.
Perfect. So search courses. When we click on here, this will give you basically your library of courses. And right now, there are 44 results. That includes 36 courses that are from the School of Risk Management for Schinnerer, and it also includes these 8 packages. The first 4 are the ones that you really want to look at. Those are from the Schinnerer School of Risk Management. They have went ahead and put together a curricula for different levels of your employees. So this way you have a choice to look through the individual courses and assign them, or your users can do that, or they can enroll in a complete curriculum. If we click on any of these packages, it will go to a listing of all the courses within the package. So again, it lets you see what exactly is in that curriculum so that you can decide, do you want to go ahead and assign individual courses or the entire curriculum? You can click on Enroll here to enroll in the course, or if we go back to Results, we can click here. What you will also see is different packages that are Red Vector courses that Schinnerer is also providing to you, so that you have access to any of these also. And they work the same, that if you click on them, you can see what courses are within that package. What I would like to show you now is how you can search within the library. So what we have been working with Schinnerer is getting some of these courses, well, the majority of them approved. Right now, we've had them approved through the AIA. And as you can see, when I click on AIA, you will see the 36 courses that are approved. And any package that these are in, they will still be approved if you take them through the package. If you want something that's health, safety, and welfare for the AIA, you can click, and then you will see we have 17 courses approved for HSW. Now, I know some people are engineers. They're not necessarily a part of the AIA, or so what we are also doing, we're working towards accrediting the courses for a different state license board. That is an initiative for 2018, and you will hear from Schinnerer as those are approved so that you will know they're approved. But it'll be very simple when you come in here, and let's say you're a New York engineer, you would just put NY here, and then New York would show up, and you could check for the New York engineer, and it would show you which courses are approved. Professional organization, this is where, again, you can look for AIA here or any other professional organization. So as we move forward and have these courses accredited for more boards, you will be able to see that here. And one other place I wanted to show you that you can search is under course tags. So you can either scroll through the tags to see the different tags there, or let's say you knew you needed a course on bidding. You can type in bidding, click on bidding, and the one course will show up. And one other thing I did want to show you is that when you see the headphones, that means there's audio, and when you see the camera, there is video in that course. Excuse me. So it gives you just a little bit of knowledge of what exactly the course has in it before you enrolled in it. Now I know there's some stuff you'd like to add, Yvonne, before we move over to my license.
Yeah, thank you. So I just wanted to give you kind of a key takeaway from this page. There's a lot on this page. What you should view this, what's helpful, I think, to view this page as, this is your supermarket, okay? And so when you're in the supermarket of choices, these are your choices for continuing education, you can pick an a la carte course, which you can see on the screen right now, those are your courses, or you can ought to choose, let's just say, a ready-to-eat meal, and that's your packages. So if you could click back on packages for a second, Kelly. So you can see on the packages, right next to associate level curriculum, you scroll over, it says 8.1 hours, and then you go down to project design professional, it's 17 hours, 25, 28. Those are the number of CE accredited hours that you get for completing that curriculum. The point one, unfortunately, you just have to, it's a number that's associated with uploading the required reading. It's not an accredited 0.1 hours. You should just read that as 8 hours of continuing education, 17 hours. It's just a platform issue on the Red Vector side that you have to associate a time for the reading. So anyway, to keep it simple, just know that if you complete the project design professional curriculum, you get 17 hours of continuing education credit. These numbers are going to continue to grow. Right now, this is just what we have ready to go now, but as the year progresses, we'll be adding more coursework, so these numbers will be growing. And as Kelly mentioned, we're in the process of vetting these courses with the regulatory boards, and as we get approvals, we'll be providing you with notice there as well. And then the last thing I wanted to note, so on the tab, you see where it says all results. If you click on webinars, it's going to, Kelly, could you click on webinars real quick? You're going to see no webinars. And that's because the way Red Vector defines webinars is live webinars. They're live broadcasts. These are not live broadcasts. So if you click on the courses, you're going to, as Kelly mentioned, these are all webcasts. So they're on demand 24/7 anytime you need to access these webcasts. So we've been calling them webinars, but just wanted to clarify that they're all webcasts on demand learning. I think that was it. So go ahead, Kelly. Did you have anything else? Oh, yeah, we want to switch to manager in. Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. So under my license, this is where you would be able to add any license that you have. I know a lot of people kind of feel like, oh, AIA right now is all that we have approved, so we're only going to add that. I suggest you add any license you have, because as we get more of these courses approved, it'll be very important for you to print your certificate for different boards. Plus, we do give you the ability to say when your license expires and to give you a reminder. So even if currently there's not a course in here for your license, it is kind of nice to have that reminder that lets you know, don't forget your license is going to expire. So it's pretty simple. You choose your license, putting your license number or membership number, the date of expiration. If you want a reminder, go ahead and put a reminder. And then once you hit save, you'll see it comes right down here on the bottom. And you can even click view, and it's going to give you a snapshot of what the requirements are for this license. So what do they need? What do they require of you for your continuing education? So from my license, is there anything you'd like to add before we switch over to my certificates?
Nope, go ahead. Thank you.
All right, no problem. So my certificates is now where you would go to print a certificate for any courses you complete. You will have a choice to print it for a specific license or to print it for non-license specific. So if you print it for your specific license, all you do is hit print certificate. It comes in a PDF, so you can save it or print it, or you can even email it. So if you decide this is something that you also would like people to email you their completed certificate, you can even have them do that through here. If you currently do not have a license in the system, or you just want to print it without license information on it, you do non-license specific and you can print it also. And then within the transcripts, it's just another way to see what exactly are you enrolled in and which license is it good for. So as we go forward and there's more courses and there's more courses being accredited by different licensing board, you may find that maybe New York Engineer only approves 20 of the 36, and you've enrolled in one of those and you're not sure, was it AIA or New York Engineer? You'll see both your license here, and whatever you click on will tell you what courses that you are currently enrolled in that go with that. I'm not enrolled in anything right now, that go with that specific license. So any question, I'm sorry, was there anything else you'd like to add, Yvonne, on certificates?
No, I think you covered it. But before we switch to manager menu, I wanted to just offer a little bit of information on that. So as a large firm, if you have annual billings of $5 million or over, we have an extra benefit to you as a firm. So what you've seen so far, these are so far in this in the student menu that Kelly was covering. These are features that all of our firms have access to. The ability to self-enroll in courses, and the ability for them to be able to email certificates to you if you're a firm leader, and to be able to prove that they completed a certain curriculum. What's great about the large firm program is this administrator feature where, in essence, you have the ability, or your leadership of your firm has the ability to assign a curriculum or certain courses a la carte, the ability to track progress, and it's a very simple process. It's turnkey. We did this because we know that many firms are looking to embed risk management culture into their daily practices. And so we thought this would be a good way for firms to be able to do that so they don't have to do so much work. And it's especially good for those of you who might want to do a turnkey onboarding program. You can assign all of your new employees to complete the associate curriculum, for example, or whatever role-based curriculum you find appropriate. You can set a time. You can say, I want new folks to complete this curriculum in 6 months. You can set up a report, which Kelly's going to show you in a second, a report to basically email you the first of the month or however you want to do it to tell you how everybody's doing. So it can be very turnkey. So go ahead, Kelly, go ahead, just show them how that works. Thank you.
So the first place you would want to go is if you want to assign courses to your employees prior to them entering the system for the first time, then you will need to add them first. Otherwise, they can automatically be created when they come in from the Schinnerer side. But if you would like them to have these courses available from the first day they log in and be able to have them under assigned courses, we need to add them first. So under manage users, this is where you would add users. We have a user upload and an add user. Add user is best if it's under 10 people. And what you need to do is just make sure you fill out the asterisks for the username. You want to use the email address, especially on making sure it's the same email address that's on file with Schinnerer, because that's how you're going to automatically do this, the seamlessly login from the Schinnerer site to ours. The password, I suggest just using something like welcome, because since you are coming directly to our site through the Schinnerer site, the password doesn't really matter, but our system still requires you to put one in. So email address, then the password, and then confirm it. And then library, you have one library, which is custom, and you would hit submit. You would choose your company here, which will only be your company. That's the only name you'll see. Then as you scroll down, it's just more asterisks of what you need to fill in. And then you would click save. Now, if you have more than one person to do, after you click save, you will have a green message that lets you know they've been saved and created. Then you can go and just write over the username and their information here and hit save again. So that way it saves you a little bit of time. Excuse me. And one thing I do want to point out to you, so that when I show you how to do a user upload, right here, the thing within the parentheses, it should be your company name without any spaces. What we do is we call this our facility code, which will be really important in just a moment. So you just want to remember your facility code is what's in this parentheses after your name of your company. So if we go to user uploads, this is how you can upload multiple users at once. So if you have 10 or more, I would suggest using this. You would just click on download template, and then you would go ahead, this template would come up. Everything in red is what you need to fill out. So remember, username is going to be the email address, and you'll put that here again. Remember, password is whatever generic password you want to use, because since you are coming through seamlessly from a Schinnerer site, the password does not matter. We just have to have one in there. And then the facility code was your firm with name within those parentheses. And you'll see it's asking everything the same it did when you're adding one user. And then we do have country code, but you can click on this down point arrow for your country code. Then all you do is save this on your computer, hit choose file, choose that file, click upload and validate. What that basically does, it just looks to make sure that you have the correct template. And then once it finishes that, you click on validate. Now it's going through and making sure you have all the fields actually completed. Step 3. Then what that does is when you click on that, it revalidates and then it inserts and creates all of the users. You do not have to do step 4 because I've set that up so it automatically will assign the correct library when you use the user upload. Before I move to the next step of creating the training, would you like to speak about anything that we just went over, Yvonne?
Okay, no, thank you, Kelly. I think you covered it. Thanks.
No problem. So under managed training, this is where you would add an assignment. So an assignment would be whenever if there are specific courses that you would like your employees to take, and you want them to know you've assigned it and you give them a specific time frame. You give it an assignment name of whatever you'd like so that if you want to look at it again under history, you'll know exactly what that assignment is. You give it a start date and an end date. The end date will let your employee know that this is a day you want them to finish it by. The library will not change. The only thing here is that if you're trying to assign specific courses rather than an entire package, you keep it at courses. You would click on one course, you click here, it moves it over, and you can do multiple courses. But if you want to do a curriculum, you choose package, and all you do is highlight the curriculum, come down here, highlight your company name, and click continue. And then all you do is just click on the people you want to assign it to, click on the right pointing arrows, and you have a choice between Smart Assignment and Basic Assignment. Smart Assignment just says, I want to look back 90 days to make sure no one has enrolled in this. It does not look back to make sure no one has completed it. So just remember that if you choose this, if someone's already enrolled in it, it won't assign that one course to them, but it's under self-enrolled and no longer under assigned. Basic Assignment says, I don't care what they've done the last 90 days, I want them to take this now. If you click on Basic Assignment, it's going to remind you again that you did Basic Assignment and it could be a duplicate. And then you just say yes if you want to continue or no. If you say yes, then it's going to give you an option to look at what you just did or to create a new one. Yvonne, did you want to add anything else before we go to reports?
No.
Okay, so now, perfect. So the next thing is that you've assigned these or you've asked people to enroll in courses. What you probably want to know now is how are they doing? Have they started the course? Have they completed it? Have they even enrolled in it? So the enrollment activity tells you all of that. So we do have quite a few different reports that you can play around with, but the enrollment activity is going to be the one that tells you the completions, if they've enrolled in it, kind of puts it all into one report. So you can name this report, especially if you are going to schedule it, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, or if you want to make this a favorite report. We have columns that we automatically add to all of the reports. But we know that you may also want to see course hours, the score. Maybe you want to know how many times did it take them to pass it to know whether or not they need a little more help on that subject. You can even see how much time did they spend, if you'd like. And then once you choose what you want to see within the report, you can say, you know what, I would like to schedule this report to be sent to myself or anybody else daily, weekly, monthly, however often you'd like. If you chose monthly, you get to choose when it is sent to you after the end of the month. then you can choose share this report. So if you want it to go to yourself and other people, if anybody's in the system, you choose them on this side. If they're not, you add their email address here and then click done. Once you click done, then it will have this button will also say schedule this report. You'll click there and it will automatically schedule it. Now, if you're not trying to schedule it, you just want to run it, then all you do is click generate report. If you like what you see, you can click add this report to favorites, and now it will be right here, and you can always just go to your favorites and run the report. This just is a great way for you to be able to track what your employees are doing and what they've completed. And then when you do run the report, it allows you to export it to Excel, to to a CSV, and to a couple other different types of programs. Is there anything else you would like to add, Yvonne?
Only that the schedule button that's right there, you can also confirm that you actually scheduled it at the top. Scroll up, there you go, right there. Yeah, if you click there, you'll be able to see that you've actually scheduled the report just to confirm it. But I think that's it for me, Kelly. Do you have anything else?
No, that is it for me.
All right. Thank you, Kelly. So with that, we hope you found this webinar useful. As mentioned earlier, this webinar was recorded and will be uploaded to our website so you can access it at your leisure. Also, please do not hesitate to reach out to us if you'd like a bit of hand-holding to get your firm set up. We can easily do that. We can schedule a quick call. The process is actually pretty simple, so just let us know if your firm wants to participate. Now, if your firm chooses to participate in the administrator program of actually making assignments and tracking progress, and you want to utilize that feature, the only thing we need from you is we need to know who you want to be the administrator. If you want more than one person to be your administrator, and the administrator is the person who makes the assignments, and tracks progress, then just let us know. We just need to put that name and email address into the system so that you can go ahead and start moving forward. I think that is it. Now, if you need a little extra hand-holding, as I said, please just contact us and let us know. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or email us at vos.rmeducation@schinnerer.com. vos.rmeducation@schinnerer.com. So that concludes our webinar today. We thank you again for joining us.